Hi, I'm Suzanne, confidence coach and the founder of Absolute Confidence, where I help people transform their lives and learn how to love themselves, trust themselves, and be the best version of themselves. In this video, I'm going to talk all about being assertive and being authoritative, and my 6 tips on how you can do more of both of those. First off, I want to start by mentioning that there's a lot of common misconceptions around both of those things. We all have the right to have and display both of them. I also want to quickly define what I believe the definition is for both being assertive and authoritative. Assertiveness is standing up for yourself and for your rights to be treated fairly and with respect. It is not the same thing as being aggressive. Two very, very different behaviors. And authority is having the power and having the right to make decisions, to give orders, and to have control. And this is not the same as being a drill sergeant or being a dictator. It is especially important to be more assertive and more authoritative at work or in a business setting. That's where it counts the most. Doesn't mean that you're being more of a bully or being a bitch. What it does mean is that you are not being a doormat, being a easy target, being a pushover, being a people pleaser. And I am going to be making a video all about people pleasing, so I will be linking that in the description box down below. So please make sure you check that out. If you're watching this video, that's also going to be very helpful for you to watch as well. It's important to know that you do not need to be a natural born leader in order to become more assertive and authoritative. It is a set of skills that I can teach to anybody. In fact, I have a 12-week program all about the important topic of assertiveness and authority. So it is something that anybody can learn. And it is a very, very important skill set to learn, because when you are coming from a place of assertiveness and authority, other people can pick up on the level of self-respect that you have for yourself, and therefore will start to treat you very differently. You've got to be able to convince yourself of that first before you can convince other people, because other people can pick up on our energy and they can pick up on the vibe of somebody who is coming across as faking it or is more insecure versus coming across as being authentically assertive. That once you get to that place where you have those skills within you, you're not going to be somebody who is trying to convince other people or having to prove how assertive you are, because people will pick up on that based on how you present yourself and the way that you speak without even using words. So let's get into my top 6 tips. Tip number 1 is to make direct eye contact. Eye contact is so important. It is the most important way that we communicate non-verbally. So much is said about us and about how we feel about ourselves based on our eyes. How many times have you heard a guy say, oh, he looked at me the wrong way, so that's why I got in a fight with him? We say so much with our eyes. So whether it's you giving a presentation at work in a boardroom or negotiating a better rate on your car repair, making direct eye contact is key. It lets other people know that what you have to say is important and that the person that's listening to you is just as important too. Tip number 2, do not lead with a disclaimer. Never start a sentence by apologizing or minimizing for what it is that you're about to say. This is a big one for a lot of people. So this is saying things like, this might sound strange, but this is probably not what you're thinking, but I don't know if this is going to work. But instead of giving someone a reason to discount what might be a really awesome idea of yours, just present the idea without any of your own judgments attached to it, and let people decide for themselves what it is that you're saying. And you'll be really, really surprised by how much more people will trust you because of you trusting yourself and what it is that you have to say. Tip number 3, stand up. Stand up always gets you more noticed, and stand up makes it a lot easier for you to display your authority, and it always makes you more noticeable. So get into the habit of standing when you're on the phone. Very, very important habit to get into. When you're sitting and you're slouched over, it's way more challenging to be enthusiastic and to be assertive. And also, give it your best effort to stand when you are at meetings at work. So one tip that you or trick that you could do is arrive kind of right before the meeting's about to start, and hopefully maybe there'll be no chairs left for you, so you're kind of forced to stand. This is a really great habit to get into. Tip number 4 is to avoid turning your statements into questions. Doing so really displays insecurity. So be very aware and mindful of how you are enunciating your statements. And if you're using inflection at the end of your statements, you are asking a question. So be very intentional and deliberate in saying things in a manner that does not have a high-pitched inflection at the end, so you are being confident and assertive in delivering your statement. Tip number 5 is to be very aware of your non-verbal, your body language. I'm sure that you've heard of the power pose. So do make sure if you're having a conversation that is a difficult conversation with a coworker or your supervisor, to be very mindful of not crossing your arms, of having shoulders rolled back, head held up, using very confident body language. Our body language is actually more than half of our communication. It's 55%. So be very, very aware of how it is that you're displaying your authority without even using your words. And tip number 6 is to manage your boss's expectations. Are you somebody that frequently gets asked to stay late or to do additional work, take on additional projects, or to help other people out at work? If so, you are not being assertive. You taking on more work and staying late is really you burning yourself out and overwhelming yourself and getting stressed out, and you not giving the best of yourself, really. You taking on additional work that maybe is outside of your area of expertise is really not going to impress anybody either. So it's really important to speak up and have a conversation with your boss about how you're feeling and what your boundaries are. Boundaries are incredibly important, and I am going to be making another video on that topic as well, so stay tuned for that. Trust me when I tell you that people are going to respect you a whole lot more when you set boundaries and when you don't take on additional things and you be direct and be honest. It's very, very important to be honest, especially with your boss. There you have it. I hope that you found my 6 tips helpful. And if you did, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Yay! And subscribe to my channel. Remember to hit that bell to be notified of all of the upcoming videos that I will be uploading. If you are interested in learning how to become more assertive, I would love to have a conversation with you about how to do that. Please do send me a message or shoot me an email, and I hope to hear from you soon. And always remember that nothing, and I mean nothing, is more powerful than absolute confidence. Go out there and make it an awesome day and live life confidently.